So, iPhone 13s are in people's hands, and I don't know about you, but I'm already looking forward to the iPhone 14. Today we've had a report claiming that the iPhone 14 will be getting a new titanium new design with some big changes in how the camera will be laid out on the 2022 iPhone. I want to share all the details on this and the iPhone 14 Pro release date and price. So that's right guys, there are already leaks and reports for the next generation iPhone. Now straight away a lot of you are probably saying the iPhone 13 has just been announced and you're already talking about the next generation iPhone 14. How could this be if Apple have just created the last iPhone? Well, believe it or not, the iPhone 14 has already been in production in design for the last couple of years. For example, the original first generation iPad was a prototype in the early 2000s, around 6 or 7 years before it actually got released in 2009. Another good example is with the original iPad Air, where Tim Cook at an interview after its launch in 2013 said that Steve, who was referring to it as Steve Jobs, was very proud of the iPad Air project. If you didn't know, sadly Steve Jobs passed away at the end of 2011. So as you can see, Apples are always working on future generation products even if they're about to launch their latest product. So lots of ideas and renders are already flying around as you can see in this video, but let's go over a couple of reports and then let's talk about the iPhone 14 Pro Max release date, then followed by a summary of the main features we know so far, including the price. So a report from John Prosser has claimed that the new iPhone's main body will be made out of a titanium finish, at least for the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Titanium hasn't been used for an iPhone and it's going to be great to get this treatment, and it means it'll probably be the strongest iPhone so far. Right now though, you can pick up an Apple Watch with a titanium body, so Apple do know what they're doing here with this metal material. However, what goes along with this report is that John Prosser has also claimed that the camera setup on the rear will not sit in a glass module but now will be sitting enclosed in the titanium body, and the lens will not stick out anymore like they have done since the iPhone 11 models. But as all these reports are still early, this leads me on nicely to say that all reports and leaks are not 100% proof they will come true in the next generation iPhone. I can only present to you what I've been told and shown. However, if you are watching this video, then you're as curious as I am in knowing what is going to be inside the next iPhone anyway, whether it will come true or not. So then guys, just quickly, this channel got over 260,000 subscribers and I announced who the winner was for this brand new iPad Pro M1, and do check out my video on my channel of who this iPad Pro is going to. But the great news is guys, I am doing another giveaway and it is for this. It is for a brand new iPhone 13 Pro Max 128GB model in the Sierra Blue. And I'm going to be giving this away to one lucky subscriber when we get over 300,000 subscribers. And just like the last giveaway, what I want you guys to do is put down in the comments below of what Apple gear you're planning to buy in 2021 or maybe into 2022. Also at the same time, make sure you subscribe to this button, hit that notification bell, because when we get over 300,000 subscribers, I will be notifying you guys of who the winner is of this brand new iPhone. And just quickly on that, I do want to quickly comment that if you do get a comment to say that you've won or something like this before we hit the 300,000 marker, it is probably not me. It is most likely a scammer. And the best way you can tell if this is a scammer or not is basically open up that person's account by clicking on their profile, and you'll be able to see how many subscribers they got. And if they've got less than 260,000 subscribers, like at the time I'm making this video here, then basically you will know they are not me. Plus, also at the same time as well, they will probably have hardly any videos uploaded, and also their account will probably be very, very new. So do ignore these emails or these messages from these people, or what you can do is at the same time, you can actually report them to YouTube. But enough of that, like I said, over 300,000 subscribers is the only time I'm going to be announcing who the winner is of this iPhone 13 Pro Max, and that's the only prize I'm going to be doing between now and then. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell. Also at the same time guys, if you're liking this video so far, please do press the like button. Well, let's get back to the main video. So let's do the release date next. So based on everything going well through the end of 2021 into summer 2022, it is believed that the iPhone 14 Pro and other iPhone 14 models will be out at the end of September 2022. How is it possible to work this out, you may ask? Well, it's quite simple and it's quite logistic when you really think about it. Let's do a quick summary of how we've got to here by doing a quick summary of the last 10 years of iPhone model release dates. So if we go back to the iPhone 4S in 2011, this classic iPhone came out on October 14th that year. Then skip a year to 2012 with the iPhone 5, it was September 21st, 2012. Then let's skip a few years ahead of that to 2016 where it was the iPhone 7 and the 7 Plus, and the release year for that was September 16th. In 2019 we saw the release of the iPhone XS on September 21st and the XR on October 26th, and last year for example with the iPhone 12 models the release dates were October 23rd to November 13th. Now mainly you can see release dates have either been kind of mid-end September to kind of end October if there's something special coming out or something a bit different, with the main exception of 2021 where it was a bit unusual for the iPhone 12 to come out a bit later, but this was due to COVID, so we did have a release on all the models. However, this year in 2021, we're back on schedule with the iPhone 13, and that's being released at the end of September, with all 4 models having a date of their release of September 24th. So for 2022, Apple will be planning an event just before this happens. However, we'll see another event for other Apple products like the MacBooks, iPads, Apple Watch, AirPods and loads more other bits and pieces around that time. And if you want more info about those products, do check out my other videos on this channel and make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell to get the latest news on them. So let's do a summary of what we know so far for the iPhone 14 Pro models, including their prices. So these details may change as they go along, but right now at the moment the iPhone 14 mini is still on the cards, but it might be ditched for 2022, but we'll have to wait and see. But for now, let's stick with it. So it should be getting a 5.4 inch OLED display with a resolution of 2340 by 1080, and this will still be a 60Hz refresh panel on this small device. It's very similar to the 12 mini and the 13 mini, but this time it will come with 6GB of RAM. Storage again will start at 128GB and also give the option of 256GB and 512GB storage options. The chipset inside the iPhone 14 will be an A16 Bionic, and this will have 4 efficiency cores and 2 performance cores, and also will have a 4-core GPU. The body will be an aluminium body, there'll be a dual camera setup on the back, and the battery size will be very similar to what we've got right now, so 2405 mAh, and also the base model of this model at 128GB will start at $699 US. Next, for the iPhone 14, it will come again in a 6.1 inch OLED display, and it will have a resolution of 2532 by 1170. At the moment, leaks are reporting that it will have a 60Hz refresh display, but you never know, this might be up to 120Hz or even 90. There's also going to be 6GB of RAM inside this phone, and storage will start at 128GB all the way up to 512GB as your storage options. Again, it will have that A16 Bionic with 4 efficiency cores, 2 performance cores and a 4-core GPU. Again, there'll be an aluminium body, dual camera setup and a 3095 mAh battery size. This base model will be coming in at $799 US for the 128GB option. After this, we have the iPhone 14 Pro, and again this is a very similar body to what we've got with the iPhone 14 normal. It'll have a 6.1 inch OLED display with a resolution of 2532 by 1170. It will also get that 120Hz Pro Motion display again, and this time it will have 8GB of RAM and storage options from 128GB all the way to 1TB. There will be an A16 Bionic chipset inside this as well, with 4 efficiency cores, 2 performance cores, but this time it will have a 5-core GPU. The actual frame is a stainless steel frame, and also there is a triple camera setup on the back with a LiDAR sensor again. The battery size is 3095 milliamps, and the base model of the 128GB model will start at $999 US. Then finally we have the iPhone 14 Pro Max. This will have a 6.78-inch OLED display, 2778 by 1280 resolution with that 120Hz ProMotion display again. There will also be 8GB of RAM in this model, and then storage options will be 128GB all the way up to 1TB. Again, that A16 Bionic will be inside with 4 efficiency cores, 2 performance cores and a 5-core GPU. The body will be a stainless steel body, and there will be a triple camera setup with a LiDAR sensor, and the actual battery size will be a 4352 milliamp, and inside this model, if you want to get it at 128GB, it will cost you $1099 US for the base model. So as I said before, it is very early days, so a lot of these details may change all the way up to the iPhone 14 Pro model's launch. However, remember, I'll be giving you the latest updates the moment I hear them coming in. So it's time to wrap up this video. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button, and at the same time as well, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons, please also hit that subscribe button followed by the notification bell. Until next time guys, I'll see you soon.